Hey everybody, my beginner routine video is now at over 500,000 views and over 600 comments. And by far the most popular comment I've received, besides saying I look like Johnny Sins, is people asking, what do I do if I don't have any equipment and I don't want to invest in equipment? So in this video, I'm going to show you a beginner routine that takes advantage of isometric exercises so that you don't need any equipment whatsoever. All right, let's dive in. All right, let's start off by looking at the workout format that I'm recommending here. All right, so the format's going to be 3 supersets, and a superset is just 2 exercises done back to back, and then you rest. The 3 supersets I'm recommending are an upper body superset, a core superset, and then a lower body. All right, so let's look at the upper body first. You're going to do a push exercise directly to a pull exercise, and then you're going to take a rest. I recommend 1 to 2 minutes. And then repeat that 3 or 4 times. Then you're going to move on to the core superset where you're going to do 2 core exercises back to back and then take a rest. Repeat that 3 or 4 times, and then you'll move on to the lower body superset with 2 squat exercises back to back. Again, you're going to rest 1 to 2 minutes between and repeat that 3 or 4 times, right? So it's pretty simple. And of course, do a warm-up before you start this workout, okay? For a warm-up, I recommend at least 2 minutes of any kind of calisthenics cardio. It can be jumping jacks, mountain climbers, running in place, high knees, whatever you feel like. Just move around, move all your joints for about 2 minutes, get your heart rate up, and then do the workout. Now let's look at how much volume I recommend here, okay? As I already mentioned, perform each superset 3 or 4 times. Maybe start with 3. And then once that feels easy, then do 4 of each superset. That's what I recommend. And for rest, between each set, rest 1 to 2 minutes. All right, so you'll complete 2 exercises, then rest a couple minutes, and then repeat that. And then how many reps or seconds? Well, there's really no specific target because as a beginner, you'll benefit from any rep range. So if you're doing an exercise that only allows 5 reps, great. You'll be building strength, and you'll also build some mass from doing it. If you can get 20 reps, okay, great, go for 30. I mean, there really is no set target that we're aiming for here. You'll benefit from anything. And lastly, let's look at the schedule before we jump into the exercises. So how often do I recommend doing this? I always recommend at least 3 days a week, and I think that's a good place to start. So you can see in the example here, I have Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the workout days, but you can do any 3 days you want. Just make sure you space it out. And on the rest days, notice I put active rest. So make sure you keep active, move around, maybe go for a walk, do some stretching, whatever it is so that you're not sedentary and just sitting on the couch all day. Cool. Now let's jump into the exercises that you'll be doing. Let's start off by looking at the first superset, which is going to be 1 push to 1 pull exercise. So for the push exercise, you're going to do push-ups on the floor, keeping your elbows tucked somewhat close to your ribs, also contracting the abs, glutes, and thighs to keep your body nice and straight. If you're not able to do push-ups properly, you can start off by doing them against a wall to practice proper form. Standing in front of a wall like this will reduce the resistance, making it easier so you can learn. Then you can always step your feet back a little bit to increase the resistance slightly. And then you can move to an elevated surface to do incline push-ups. Doing the push-ups at an incline will make it slightly harder than the wall version, preparing you for moving down to the floor. If maybe you've been doing push-ups for a while and you're tired of them, you can always switch it up by doing assisted L-sits on the floor, using your heels on the floor for the assistance, making this doable for beginners. Or if you want, you can also switch it up to straight arm planks to start building up your straight arm strength. Either one is fine if you're tired of push-ups. No matter which push exercise you choose after performing a set, immediately go to this pull exercise. Stand so that your shoulders and back are flat against a wall, and then raise your arms up so you're in a sort of letter T shape. Then what you're going to do is use the muscles of your upper back to pull your arms, specifically the elbows and forearms, against the wall behind you. Hold this isometric contraction for as long as you can and as hard as you can. I'll step away from the wall and show you what's going on with this exercise. You're using the rhomboids and upper traps of your upper back to pull your shoulder blades together, and also the posterior deltoid here on the back of the shoulders to pull your arms backwards. Contracting these muscles and holding the contraction is going to work them isometrically, building strength. Another way that you can perform this exercise is to lie in a prone position on the floor. That means face down. And then again, put your arms out to the sides to form a letter T, and then contract your back muscles to raise your arms up. In this position, you're working directly against gravity, so it should be a little harder. And here I'm actually performing reps of this instead of holding a constant isometric contraction, but either way, it's a good exercise. Now let's focus on the core. For the first core exercise, you're going to sit on the floor and get into what's called a reverse plank. With your arms down to the floor behind you, fingers pointed straight ahead, you're pressing down into the ground with your hands, primarily coming from your upper back and the backs of your shoulders, and you're using your core muscles to keep your body nice and straight. You'll feel this working your lower back, abs, and glutes a lot, just to keep your body straight like that. Then you're going to get straight into a side plank. For the side plank, you're going to be facing sideways. Your feet will be touching the ground as well as the elbow of one arm, and all of your weight's going to be coming down on those 2 points. Everything else is going to be contracting to hold your body straight and keeping basically your torso, hips, and legs off the ground. A lot of muscles are being worked here, but your transverse abdominis and obliques in the core are really getting emphasis here. And make sure, because this is unilateral, you rotate and you do the opposite side as well. That way you're working both sides evenly. And lastly, let's give those legs some work, shall we? And we're going to do that by starting off with sumo squats. Step your feet away from each other so they're wider than shoulder width apart. Toes should be pointed slightly outwards. I like to put my arms straight ahead and then stick the butt out as you squat down and stand back up. You'll find that sumo squats are different from standard squats. By having the wider stance, you're actually working the insides of your thighs more, all right? The muscles along the inside of your thighs. Since this is a leg exercise and we're using only body weight, I recommend building this up to at least 20 reps, okay? I always do my leg exercises high volume when I'm not adding any weight. After the sumo squats, you're going to go straight to a close stance with feet together like I'm doing here, and you're going to do what's called close squats. This is going to be different because now your legs are touching basically from your feet being so close together, and it's going to work more of the outside of your thighs, and it's really going to challenge your flexibility. Most people don't have the kind of deep squat flexibility to go down as far as I am in this video, so just go down as far as you comfortably can for these squats, and over time as you do them, you will increase your flexibility and your mobility will improve so that you can squat way down. And one thing I want to point out, notice that there is no arch in my lower back, right? A lot of people will say that you need to maintain an arch in your lower back while doing squats, but those are people coming from a weightlifting background. They're used to having a lot of weight on their back while doing squats. I'd like to see anybody do these close squats and maintain an arch in the lower back. I have yet to see it. I've seen a lot of people do these, and it's pretty normal for the back to be flat. How about a quick recap of the workout? So for the upper body superset, and remember, you always do a warm-up before you do a workout, okay? So you warm up, and then you start with your first superset of push-ups, straight to T's against the wall or on the floor. And remember, instead of push-ups, if you've been doing those and you're tired of them, you can do the straight arm plank that I showed or the assisted L-sit on the floor. After 4 of those supersets, move on to the core, doing reverse planks to side planks. And when you do side planks, remember to do both sides each time. After 4 of those supersets, you move on to your last superset, which is lower body, and you're going to do sumo squats right to close squats. After 4 of those, you are done with your workout. So that's how you can use isometric exercises, especially for the back, with those T's against the wall, to really work your whole body, especially chest, back, core, and legs, without using any equipment whatsoever. And if you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a like. And as always, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe with the big red button down below, and I'll put something somewhere on the screen here. But my channel, minus the gym, is all about calisthenics-based home fitness and healthy nutrition. So if that's up your alley, subscribe, and I will talk to you again soon.